Ask almost anyone where the Ganga River begins, and they'll point you high up into the Himalayas. Textbooks and tradition tell us it starts at the Gangotri Glacier, pouring directly out of a specific ice cave called Gomukh. At 13,000 feet, it's a punishing environment. The ice slowly fractures, and a freezing stream pushes out into the open mountain air. But if you hike up there and stand right at the edge of that cave, you aren't actually looking at the Ganga. The water violently rushing out of that glacier is a completely different river named the Bhagirathi. At this altitude, the Ganga doesn't even exist. To find the real starting coordinate of India's most famous river, we have to travel across the mountains to a different glacier and learn a strict, almost mathematical rule of hydrology. About 80 miles east of Gangotri, tucked near the mountain town of Badrinath, sits the Satopanth Glacier. This map shows where the true assembly process begins. Two distinct streams break off from the mountain here, the Dali Ganga and the Vishnu Ganga. They flow straight toward a single junction point. When two rivers collide, geographers use a very specific metric to decide what happens next. They measure the depth. As this cross-section shows, if one river is deeper than the other, the deeper channel absorbs the shallow water and keeps its original name. There is one rare exception to this rule. If the two colliding rivers are exactly equal in depth, both old names are wiped off the map and a brand new river is declared. When the Dali Ganga and the Vishnu Ganga finally crash into each other at a town called Devprayag, their depths perfectly match. Neither wins. Instead, they merge to form an entirely new entity, the Alaknanda. The Alaknanda is now our main character, but before it can become the Ganga, it has to run a geographic gauntlet down the mountain, colliding with smaller rivers along the way. This map graphic tracks the Alaknanda's first major test down at Devprayag, where it meets the Nandakini River. We apply the depth rule. The Alaknanda is significantly deeper, so it swallows the Nandakini whole and keeps right on rolling under its own name. This happens twice more in rapid succession. It hits the Pindar River at Karnaprayag. The Alaknanda is deeper. It collides with the Mandakini at Rudraprayag. Again, the Alaknanda wins on depth. By this point, the Alaknanda is carrying immense weight. It is a massive force of water dragging the combined flow of 5 different mountain drainage systems down the slope. All that momentum leads it straight down to the town of Devprayag. And waiting for it there is the Bhagirathi, the exact same river we saw pouring out of that ice cave at the very beginning of our journey. Two massive bodies of water violently slam into each other in the valley. Geographers drop their lines to measure the channels, and the results come back identical. The depths perfectly match. The rule is triggered and both old identities are erased. Right here, at these exact coordinates, the Ganga River is officially formed. Looking at this basin map, you can trace that complex 5-part gauntlet of mountain collisions. In India, this sacred network of confluences is known as the Panch Prayak. Once the Ganga is fully assembled, it immediately breaks out of the turbulent Himalayas and spills onto the vast flat plains of the north. For the next 2,500 kilometers, it cuts a wide, meandering path eastward, carving its way through Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. The river's identity undergoes one final shift near the end of its life cycle. As it crosses the border into Bangladesh, the Ganga is renamed the Padma. Finally, the massive channel splinters apart into an enormous delta system, bleeding billions of tons of water and sediment directly into the Bay of Bengal. We picture the Ganga as a single thread pulled from an isolated ice cave. The reality is a beautifully engineered geographic collective, a strict mathematical balance of mountain streams uniting to build an entire subcontinent's lifeline.